In this section, we'll be finding the x and y intercepts of a linear equation and using them to graph the equation. So let's get started. Let's take a look at y equals 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to find our x and our y intercepts. So x and y intercepts. Now, we remember how to do this. We went over in our previous sections that to find an x-intercept, we substitute 0 in for y. We set y equal to 0. So we have 0 equals 3x plus 2. And then we simply solve for x. When we can move 2 to the other side by subtracting both sides by 2. So we have 3x equals minus 2. And we can simply divide both sides by 3 to get x by itself. So we have x equals minus 2/3. So our our x-intercept is going to be minus 2/3 for our x value and 0 for our y value. This is the point where our line crosses the x-axis. It's called our x-intercept. And we're going to find our y-intercept in a similar manner, except we'll be replacing x with 0 instead of y. So we're going to put 0, substitute in 0 for x. So we have y equals 3 times 0 plus 2. 3 times 0 is 0, which gives us y equals 2. So our y-intercept is 0, 2. So now we have an x-intercept and a y-intercept. Now, if we only had one point, when it comes to graphing, there would be nothing special about drawing a line through it because there would be an infinite number of lines we could graph using that one point. But if we have at least 2 points, all we need to do is simply draw a straight edge and draw a line connecting the 2 points to make a unique line. Using these x and y intercepts for a graph is actually pretty convenient for us because these are 2 points on a line that we can quickly find. By substituting in 0 for either y or x. So let's go ahead and plot these points and connect them. So here's our graph. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We shouldn't need a very big graph here. This is our x-axis, and this is our y-axis. Okay, so we have 2 points. Our x-intercept is minus 2/3 and 0. So we go on the x-axis minus 2/3, which should be somewhere right in here, and 0. So plot this point. And then our y-intercept is 0 and 2. So 0, 1, 2. Okay, so there's our next point. And all we do is connect these with a line. So we can connect these two with a line. Something like that. Okay, and then this line goes infinitely in both directions because we can actually plug in an infinite number of values for x and y. So this is how we graph a linear equation using their x and y intercept. We find the intercepts, plot the points, and just draw a straight line through it. Okay, let's do a couple more. Let's say we have y equals 1/4 x plus 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and find our x and y intercepts, and then we can plot our line using these 2 points. So the x-intercept we find by plugging in 0 for y, so 0 equals 1/4 x plus 3, and then we simply just solve for x. Let's move the 3 to the other side, so we have 1/4 x equals a negative 3. We can multiply both sides by 4 to get x by itself. So we have x equals minus 12. And our x-intercept is going to be minus 12, 0. Okay, let's find our y-intercept. Y-intercept. And these are usually more simple because the standard form for a linear equation is y equals, and then the x is mixed up with a bunch of jumbo over here. So we simply plug in 0 for x. So 1/4 times 0 plus 3. 1/4 times 0 is 0. So y equals 3. Our y-intercept is 0, 3. All right, now let's graph this thing. Here's our y-axis. Here's our x-axis. We're gonna have to use let's go ahead and use a different scale so it doesn't get too big. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The scale is going to be a bit different, but that'll be okay. So these are going to be by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12. And in this direction, it's -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, and -12. And then we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and -2, -4, -6, and so on. This is our x-axis. We always want to label our axes. And then we have our y-axis. Okay, so let's take our 2 points and plot this line. Okay, so our x-intercept is -12, 0. So this is where the line is going to cross our x-axis at -12, 0. Our y-intercept is 0, 3. So somewhere right here, this is where our line is going to cross the y-axis. And then all we do is simply connect these points with a straight line, or as straight as we can get. This actually don't go through either one, but you get the idea. This line is supposed to, well, let me let's try this again. That's a little better. Okay. And these 2 lines keep going infinitely in both directions. Okay, so we're graphing linear equations using the x and y intercept. It's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and do one more. Let's take a look at the following example. Let's say we have x plus y equals -4. Okay, we need to find our x and y intercepts. And this should actually be a little easier because as we saw something like this in the previous section where there was just x and y on either side. But for our x-intercept, we plug in 0 for y, so we have x plus 0 equals -4, or x equals -4. So our x-intercept is -4, 0. Then for our y-intercept, we plug in 0 for x. So we have 0 plus y equals -4. So y equals -4. And our y-intercept is 0, -4. Okay, let's go ahead and plot these real quick. Let's see. There's our y-axis. No, there's our x-axis. And we have, let's go ahead and make some markers. 2, 3, 4, 5. You always want to get an idea of the scale. And we can actually cheat a little bit by using what we have here so we know we can make it fit. This is our y-axis. This is our x-axis. And you'll get better with the scale as we do more examples. But our x-intercept is going to be -4 and 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. And then we have our y-intercept is 0, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then all we simply do is connect the 2 lines. Let's connect these 2 lines. And then put the arrows on the end just to clarify that they go infinitely in each direction, because we can put an infinite number of values for x and an infinite number of values for y. Okay, we're out of time. We'll do some more in the next video. We're just using x and y intercepts to graph linear equations. I'll see you soon.